Alright, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Key coming at y'all boys with a brand new video. Now today, we got another reaction video for y'all boys. We're gonna go ahead and jump into this video, but at first, I need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you tap in with your boy. All channel links in the description. And with that being said, man, it's time to go ahead and lock in.
This video is for educational documentary purposes only. It is meant to provide an authoritative news reporting narrative of historic events that have occurred presented in a journalistic context.
For sure.
Envy, money, betrayal, all things that when mixed together will never have a great outcome. Being conniving in the streets will bring either good or bad.
Definitely bad.
No in between. In today's video, we will take a look into the most captivating story in Dallas drill. The most hated guy in Dallas. TG, the biggest slime, Dallas. Tavarius
But I ain't
Robinson,
gonna cap. Hold on.
was
Before we
born
even get into this video, I really want to know where being slime started to be the new thing. Like sliming out your partner, sliming out the people that's across the way. Like, when did it become the new trend to steal, kill, and rob your partners? Slime was supposed to be like, that's my slime, that's my brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my kin, that's my folks. To slime meaning we stealing, we robbing, we like, what the fuck, bro? How did that happen, bro?
29th, 2003 in Denver, Colorado. A city that has very similar gang culture as Los Angeles, a fact that will come into the question later in the story. The Denver gang culture is almost one of one with LA's blood and Crip politics, so identical that the city has adopted their accent and style of lingo as well. Growing up in Denver, TG would be said to be a curious child, always wondering this, wanting to do this, be involved in that. He wanted to be the life of the party, the one you always knew or heard about. In 2011, at the age of 8, TG would move to Dallas, Texas, specifically the rough and grimy streets of Highland Hills. Here, TG would begin to witness the reality of poverty, ingraining a deep determination to make something of himself no matter what it took. During this time, him and his family would go back and forth to Denver. Come 2016, they come back to Dallas. While visiting a relative in Mesquite, his mom's niece would introduce him to Commandra Tucker, aka Snoop. The two would click instantly. With the two becoming so inseparable, TG would run away from home to hang with Snoop for an entire month. Now, Snoop, along with his brother Mark, would move to Oak Cliff, the Ewing Villas townhomes, only 3 minutes from the Dallas Zoo. This would also be the location where the infamous Jug Team X Global Gang was formed.
Hold on. So
with notable members such as
the Dallas Zoo is basically in the middle of the hood, or in the middle of an area that is more so uppity, but they're turning into something bad.
Snoop, Mark, Bori, and Fat Daddy. Jug Team would begin rapping and becoming active in the streets. Being from Oak Cliff, the young set of teens would beef with other Oak Cliff gangs like the Highland Hills Gang OTG, or Only the Glizzies, ATM, LA, a gang from the Grove and the Cliff, with their most known member being the now incarcerated rapper LA Bori. Drilla Gang, a Mesquite-based gang that fallen OTG member Fazo Glizzy used to be a part of, under the name Stretch M Drilla, as well as FMG or Fly Money Gang, a collection of different hoods as one which once included the biggest crash out, EBK Cyrac, for a short period of time. Throughout 2017-2018, Jug Team and their biggest ops OTG and ATM would be at war in the streets of Dallas. From shootouts to diss songs, the beef was definitely raging. TG himself would also be very passionate for music around this time, dropping a few notable songs such as his melodic vocal style track Gang Shit, featuring Snoopy.
I be on a whole lot of games.
No.
I be on a whole lot of games.
No.
And his infamous Gummo remix. However, behind the scenes, all of the work being put in wasn't being appreciated by all of the Jug Team members. Mark, being the blood brother of Snoopa, is actually said to not really be that fond of TG, with some speculating he was actually jealous of the close bond TG and Snoop shared. Mainly being because Mark and Snoop were actually related through blood, and TG was just a dude from Denver that Snoop met and started to hang around. Despite TG, 14 at the time, being a very active member in the group, other Jug Team members would share the same attitude as Mark, showing less and less respect towards TG, since to them he wasn't a true member because he was from out of town and they didn't know him for that long.
Haters!
Jug Team would suffer a saddening loss when one of their very beloved members, Corey Carson, or Fat Daddy, would pass away at the age of 17 in a car wreck. This wouldn't be the first crippling loss the group would suffer. While being a true savage in the streets will bring you respect and a name, it also brings the unexpected, which is exactly what happened on August 16, 2018, when Commandra Tucker, better known as Snoopa, was shot and unalived during a home invasion. This death would prove to be what most people say was the downfall of the group. Making it even worse, TG was locked up during this time, being told the news by his mom over the jail phone. After Snoopé passed, this is when T is said to have lost motivation for music and would begin to distance himself from Jug Team members.
He should, that was Haynes.
Since Snoopé was now gone, the other Jug Team members didn't have a reason to have Tej around. This would be solidified after Tej wanted to do music with a member of Drilla Gang. Members like Mark and Luke wouldn't like this. Tej didn't care, and still did the music, so Jug Team would cut ties with TG altogether. The death of Snoop was detrimental for TG.
So let me get this straight, right? So TG, he's running with a group. He becomes close with the guy right here who passed away. They're jealous of his relationship with another man, suspect. And so they start to dislike him because he was closer to him than everybody else. So when he passes away, they're not even rocking with him for real. He does music with somebody who I guess they don't like, or they don't like that he's doing anything with them other people. And it's basically just a reason for them not to mess with him. I'd be a slime too. That's crazy.
Setting the beginning of the TG that Dallas would become all too familiar with. Sliming, backdooring. To go behind someone's back to rob or even unalive them for monetary gain or just moving fishy.
Back.
Something that should be noted in the mind of TG. To him, none of these people were his people. After losing Snoop, TG would begin to lose morals and loyalty for anyone.
Hold on. This is a full circle moment. If I know what I know, and I think I do, I know how this story ends. And who they say is the reason this story ends.
Coming from Denver, where the gang culture is synonymous with LA, TG looked at all of these other groups as just cliques. He didn't care about the street aspect of the group. As far as he was concerned, he was only loyal to himself.
That's how you're
becoming
supposed to do.
so disloyal, getting backdoor tattooed on his face. TG had developed a mentality where only the people around him could better his life. He would target any clique in the city that had a name. Any group that was popping, turnt, or lit around the city, he wanted to surround himself with them, get close to them, and when the time was right, he would take them down, robbing them for any money, drugs, or guns that they were carrying or moving. Being locked up from 2018-2022, TG would miss a lot, choosing to go back to his home of Denver, Colorado. This is where he would join the Piru set, Park Hill Piru Bloods, rapping with members under the stage name Bougie Roo. This is the same group that he would catch a case with in 2022, allegedly using stolen information to purchase luxury vehicles, never paying for them. Joining the Pirus would change the way TG viewed gangs on another level. Since LA gangs, you had to be formally jumped in, unlike Dallas gangs where you could just join if you said you were down for it. He didn't take Dallas groups seriously, only looking at them as weenies that he could infiltrate and take over whatever they were involved in.
But eventually, bro, people ain't gonna
Once
lie,
TG
bro.
came back to Dallas, he had his eye.
When you going around and you making enemies like this, like, I ain't gonna cap. If you ain't got no enemies, then you know what I'm saying, you ain't doing something right. But for you to just have a million enemies, like, and the thing about it is they know you, they know how you move, they paying attention. Please don't ever think that you just the slickest, slimiest of them all, because there's somebody always slimier than you. There's somebody always plotting on you too. Just like you plotting on them, they plotting on you. For a fact. And if you playing both sides, you bound to get clipped somewhere in the middle. This shit crazy, bro.
Set A, his target. FBG, the Crip set from 4 Deuce in South Dallas. Gunna was hanging around them a lot, being seen at functions with them as well as pics together. He even attended the funeral of fallen FBG member Fats, who he would start dissing shortly after he parted ways with the group. Something that has to be stated as well is the fact that, unsurprisingly, Strizzy, a top member of FBG, was already on his trails. Seeing the plot early on, but being held off by other FBG members who didn't want to go with the move, taking a great liking into T's. See, TG wasn't shy about his character of being a grimy person. He actually took pride in being someone who didn't show loyalty to anyone. He was always looking for an opportunity, a chance. This is supported by one of his most famous situations. TG is known to have known a lot of people. He was seen and known to be with almost every clique in Dallas.
So he mixed.
He could even be seen with top Stretch Gang member number 7.
Look at how he looking at him.
This relationship was said to be very close. This would explain why TG would slime popular Arlington rapper OG Maine, or now Meezy Maine, who made a song with number 7's op BFG Strap in early 2021. In 2022, shortly after shooting the music video to his song Crash Out, TG would pull a bold move, robbing Meezy Maine for all of the guns he had in the video only 2 days later.
Damn.
Even going on Instagram Live bragging about it, where he can be seen with the same MAC-10 styled gun seen by Meezy Maine on his profile, dissing FBG and Sniper Gang.
Talking about nigga, yeah, nigga, and we like that. I'm keeping my drink, nigga. Fuck, nigga, fuck. What you talking about, nigga? Yeah. Free the ops so we can smoke them.
Yes,
I'll back down my mama, nigga.
Oh God, nigga, what you talking about, nigga? King Snake. Back up, gang, I'm King Snake. Cross around, still a bag of cake. What?
TG clearly was determined to take anyone down. If you had what he wanted, he was on you. He wanted to be known as the biggest snake, the top slime. In 2023, TG would start doing business in the East. Him and another rapper, Kato Rivers, better known as FBG Murda, would be making a name in the city, coming up overnight from fake check scams, seemingly being turned and flashing big stacks of money on social media. TG would diss one of their members, Man, for allegedly snitching on the news when he was a kid, after being grazed by a bullet in a now-deleted Instagram freestyle.
And I said that shit again, you just gonna make me mad. My niggas in the field, out in that field, why would you get past? I'm sick of seeing niggas in the mall walking with no bag. Fuck you asking if you got it with your bro. Nigga, I'll make this bitch a brick, this a real shit. You know that nigga man that L, what's that boy a real sneak?
That shit was trash.
He would also diss their fallen member, Hank, who was unalived in 2021. TG would take notice to Kato's come up, deciding OTS would be his next target. He would stop dissing Hank, thinking that OTS members wouldn't rep for him. However, he wasn't aware of the plot that would unfold at hand. OTS, being aware of Gunna's grimy past and his reputation for being a snake, would be all too prepared to accept TG as one of their own, devising a plan to take TG down before he could get them. July 4th comes around. TG and OTS members, Mula, Kato, and Man all drop matching photos for the 4th of July. With Kato and Yakuza allegedly wearing the same thing as TG, just with different colored shorts on. TG would post his last picture, him sitting at his mom's kitchen with a disrespectful caption dissing fallen OTG member Jizzle and ATM member 10K Lil Winford. A fact that is crazy considering TG grew up with some OTG members, including the infamous Ball Out Glizzy. Despite who he dissed, TG wouldn't return home that night, last being seen with his apparent OTS gang members. Unfortunately, TG wouldn't be found until July 6th in an alley in East Dallas. News of his passing would surprise the city, with multiple sides laughing and mocking his passing. But what happened to him?
He got set up. He got backdoored.
As stated before, TG and OTS didn't have the best record. TG had already dissed a beloved member, as well as mocked another respected member for allegedly snitching, something that is never acceptable in the streets. So for OTS, they had to get him gone. They knew it wouldn't be easy, so they had to be strategic.
They slimed the slime.
A week earlier, Yakuza would attempt to take him out, but the plan didn't go so well, so they had to call it off. They would, however, trade guns, giving him a tech.
They don't shoot.
This tech, however, would knowingly not shoot. It was guaranteed to jam. This is the same tech that you see on the counter in his last photo. On the 4th of July, they had the plan set to match outfits with him to lure him in. They would all post that day. At the end of the day, they would go to a hood in East Dallas. There, Moolah, Man, and Yakuza would have TG in an alley, where Yakuza is said to have unloaded a full clip into his face, leaving TG for dead, not to be found until a whole 2 days later.
And they say Yakuza
After the 4th,
brain dead.
OTS had already
say
deleted
he's
the
slow.
photos they took of them all matching with TG to cover their tracks. Yakuza would go the furthest to cover his trail, going as far to create an entire fake memorial highlight on his Instagram, pretending to be sad and remorseful for the death of TG just to keep the heat off of him.
Yeah, he got a tattoo
However,
of him too.
if you look into any of the members, none of them acknowledged TG at all. People would call out OTS blatantly for backdooring TG. His death is often mocked by his many enemies, poking fun at the fact that he was missing, asking where he is. This was most associated with the song Where TF is TG by PCE rapper Rundown 4. Eerily, TG unknowingly would have his killers on his profile picture still till this day.
Yeah. So with that being said, man, this actually gives us a deeper look into TG's life, because I did do a reaction to the story of Yakuza, and that's how when stuff started to click, I started putting the pieces together. And the biggest thing that I want to convey with all these stories is that they all end the same way. You know, like there's no way you could sit right here and slime somebody out, diss on somebody, and then go run and try to chill with somebody who you was just dissing on while you was chilling with them. Like, it's not gonna work, bro. You wanting to be the biggest slime and not being loyal to nobody. You're not gonna have anywhere that you can go. You're gonna have to leave the city and go back to Denver, bro. Like, you're not gonna be able to just stay in the city and be cool, bro. Word is gonna get around about how you move and about what you done did, and nobody's gonna want to become a victim to you and your slimy ways. It just is what it is. So with that being said, man, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. This is a story on TG, the biggest slime in Dallas. It's your boy Key checking in, checking out. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gone.